Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I will be creating this mint toned makeup look, and I've used another one of the Colourpop Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. So if you'd like to see how I achieve this look, then please keep on watching. Okay, so first of all I'm going to start off with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is the shade Honey, and I'm just going to put that on my eyelids. I'm taking the Real Techniques Point XS brush and I'm just gonna blend that all in. I didn't realize this brush was part of the collection that I used to do my bottom lash line. So because I've put a fair amount of concealer on my eyelid, what I tend to do when I do this is just get my Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder, and it can be any setting powder, and I just get a brush. This is a Morphe E21 brush, and I'm just gonna literally set that concealer on my eyelid, but I don't want it to be overly powdery, so I'm only putting the tiniest bit on, and I'm just gonna tap that, and it basically helps to blend in the colors that you're using after. This look that I'm gonna do is a mint eye makeup look, and the palette I'm using is this one. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Mint to Be. That's the packaging, and this is what the palette looks like. And I'll just show you the inside of it. It's quite good, these palettes have got like mirrors in there as well. So these are the colors that you get in the palette. I'm probably going to use the ones going down this side. I might put some shimmer on if I feel like it. I'm going to start with this shade in the corner, and it's called Ice Cold. I'm going to use that in my crease, and the brush I'm going to use is the Luxe Crease brush in 228 by Zoeva. Literally going to pick some up on the brush and then use the rainbow motion to define the crease. When I've picked this shade up, there is quite a bit of fallout, so definitely try and do your eye makeup before your base. So I'm just gonna use a rainbow motion and define the crease. Just gonna build this up until I think I've got enough. Because the shade I'm using on my eyelid is a lot lighter than the crease shade, I'm going to use concealer just to make that color pop a bit more. So I'm using the same concealer that I used before, the Too Faced one. I'm just taking a bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm using a flat brush like this. I don't have a name for this brush, it's not got anything written on the thing, but I'm just going to take some of this on the brush. So I'll try and tilt my head back when I do this, so it's a lot easier to see where the crease kind of stops, because you don't want to go over the crease line because then it will look funny. I try and place most of the product in the center and then move away from the center, so that if I look straight on, I know that I've reached my crease, and then I take it down. Before I place the shade that I'm going to put on this part of my eye, I'm going to just quickly blend out this corner. So I'm going to take the same shade, Ice Cold, and I'm taking this brush by Zoeva, and it's a Luxe Petite Crease Brush number 231. And I'm just going to dab, oh my god, just got it in my thing. And I'm just going to dab it here on the corner and take it over that concealer, just so that there's not a harsh line created. Taking the 237 Detail Shader brush by Zoeva, I'm going to pick up the shade Get Fresh, which is that one there. So I picked some up on the brush, and I'm just going to tap it down. I'm not going to drag it over here because this concealer is quite wet. Once I've placed the shade all over the concealer, so the concealer is completely covered, I can then go on and just kind of swipe it. Okay, so I've now done both of the eyes. What I don't like, and this does happen when you do this, is that there's such a harsh line over here, and I want to get rid of that. So I'm taking the Luxe Petite Crease brush, number 231 by Zoeva, the same one that I used before, to do the corners. And I'm going to take that shade and bring it around the lash line so it makes it look a bit, it kind of rounds it off a bit. And I'm going to do that on the top section as well over here. So basically doing like a V. So the shade in the center, which has got shimmer on it, is called Mojito Mami. I'm going to press this onto my eyelid. I'm taking the same brush that I used to do this shade. Oh, it's actually quite nice. I'm just going to press that in. So I've applied that. I'm just going to take that same brush that I've been using to do the outer corner and just literally blend it along the edges. I'm going to take my Cheek Parade palette. I'm taking the Hoola shade from this, which is that one there. So you can just use a bronzer for this if you want to, preferably a bronzer without shimmer. So I'm just going to take my Sigma Firm Blender E44 brush. I don't want my brush to be firm, but I can't find a brush right now, so we're just gonna make do with this one. And I've taken the product on, and I'm literally just gonna go to the edge of where my eyeshadow ends and do a rainbow motion there. Because it's a firm brush, I'm using it very lightly because I don't want it to put the product all in one spot. And then I'm also going to go along the bottom over here, kind of creating like a half oval. What that does is it kind of diffuses your eyeshadow out. It doesn't look bad when you do it harsh, but that's more like, I'd say, an editorial kind of eye. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Life Liner, and I'm going to use the liquid liner side of it to do a winged liner. So the next thing I'm going to do is curl my lashes. For my mascara, I'm using the MAC In Extreme Dimension 3D Black Lash. For lashes, I'm going to use my Ardel wispy lashes. So for my base, I have just put moisturizer on not a long time ago. So I'm going to literally just put a little bit of the Kat Von D Lock-It Hydrating Primer, and taking a bit and just putting it all over my face. I'm nearly coming to the end of this primer, and I think I would get it again because it is a really good primer. And it's a thick primer, so your makeup will sit really well with it. So recently I've been getting quite a few spots on my face, and like the best corrector I've found to kind of get rid of the blemishes when I'm applying makeup is the Kryolan one. I tend to use the shade in the center or the peach one, and I just go around anywhere where I think I need to color correct. And this is a Real Techniques base shadow brush. So anything small and fluffy, because it just helps it blend in. Just putting it everywhere where I have got any pigmentation, dark spots. I think because this is a lot thicker, it does give amazing coverage, like especially when you want that very flawless face. Just gets rid of everything. And when I'm dipping in, I'm literally doing very lightly, and it kind of picks up enough product so that it doesn't look like you've put a load on. I'm so indecisive today. I don't even know what I'm using. I'm just going along with it. I'm going to use my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, and this is in the shade Medium Warm 58. It's quite a matte foundation, and I usually mix it in with their primer. I usually do like a pump of the foundation and a pump of the primer, mix them together and put it on my face to get more of a dewy base. So that's the foundation, and then I just kind of add that in like that, and I literally just get a brush and kind of mix it in like that. I've got some on the brush as well. This is a Morphe E49 brush. I'm literally just gonna dab it everywhere. I use a brush with this foundation first because even to blend it out with, because it's quite a heavy foundation. If I use like a beauty sponge on it, then it's just gonna make the texture of the foundation go a bit weird. So I'm just gonna use a patting motion to blend all the foundation in. Once it's nicely blended in, I'm just gonna get Real Techniques beauty sponge and just bounce that all over my face. Mainly around the edges, wherever it's finished, wherever it's ending, so that when I apply my next product, it doesn't look like there's a harsh line. Okay, for concealer, I'm going to use the Too Faced concealer again under the eye, and then I'm only going to put it over here and use the same brush that I used earlier to quickly just blend that in. And then I'm going to go in with a highlighting concealer. I'm going to use my Pat McGrath concealer. This is in the shade Light Medium 14. I'm just going to put it on the inner part of the under eye. And using the same brush, just keeping it concentrated in that inner corner bit, but then lightly bringing it out. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Light to do my bronzer. And I'm taking the MAC 168 brush, and this is a travel sized one. I'm literally just going to do that, pick it up, kind of just blend it out onto the hand, and then go around the edge of my face. I'm holding the brush up right at the end so that it doesn't place the product in one area too quickly, otherwise then it looks blotchy. See, this is what happens when you forget to blend it out onto the hand. It all kind of gets placed in one area, then you have to blend it for a lot longer. Taking a smaller brush, this is the Luxe Soft Definer brush by Zoeva 227. Taking some on there, taking off any excess on the back of my hand, and then going down the sides of my nose. And I just like to get a bigger brush and kind of just, because it's got foundation on it, it blends it out a bit better. I'm now gonna set my under eyes. I'm just gonna get some powder on the MAC 168 brush. I'm just gonna take the concealer brush and make sure that there's no creases on the under eye, and then do one eye at a time and set it. So I'm literally gonna dust a bit of the setting powder all over my face. Okay, so for my bronzer, I'm using the Hoola shade from the Benefit Cheek Parade. That one there. And using the same brush that I used to apply the powder with, I'm just gonna take some and go around the same places that I put the bronzer on. Now that that's blended in, I'm using my favorite blusher, and this is the MAC blusher in Sunbasque. So I don't want to add too much color to my face because I've already got a lot of color going on the eyes. So taking the same brush, I'm literally gonna pick some up. I'm just gonna put it at the end of the cheekbones and then drag it back, so not too much on the apple of the cheek. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera highlighter, and this is what it looks like. This has been discontinued. And I'm going to use my Anastasia A12 brush, just putting it on the high points of my face. Just doing the top of the brows, forehead, nose and chin. Okay, taking a smaller brush, this is a MAC 219 brush. I'm just going to take some on here and just do the brow bone and the inner corners of the eye. For my brows, I'm going to use my Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 3.5. I'm just going to fill these in. Just going to comb them out. For my lips, I want to go for more of an orange toned lip colour. I'm going to start off by using the Spice Lip Pencil by MAC, just to line the lips. I'm just going to fill the actual lip with the liner as well. Try not to drag it too much because I find that my lips get really dry when I do that. Well, the bottom lip anyway, top lip's okay. For lipstick, I'm using the Colourpop Luxe Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade Pudding, and it's more of a coral pink. It's got more of an orange undertone to it. So I'm just going to put that all over my lips. So I'm just going to get my MAC Fix Plus in Goldlite, and I'm just going to give it a shake and then spray it all over my face and then blend it in using a beauty sponge. So for my under eye, I'm going to use the Real Techniques extra small brush, and I'm going to take the shade Ice Cold, which is the darker shade that I've put on the outer corner, and I'm just gonna literally go on the lower lash line. It's gonna take the same mascara and just do my lower lashes. After all those mistakes and mishaps that have happened during this whole video, which most of them will have been edited out, I finally got to the end of this look. So I hope you like it. And yeah, I've not done a green toned look in quite some time. I think the last one I did was about 2 years ago, and it was more of a fall autumn look. So this time I tried to go for like a summery green tone look, so I tried to use like a mint pastel shade. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Because the shade I'm going to put on my eyelid is a lot. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I am. I'm now going to set my under eye. I can't get my words out today. I'm now going to set my under eye, and I'm going to use the shade. Just making it rather Mercier. Oh, do you know what I need to do? I need to do my tash. I need to do my upper lip before I do this.